This is the router table I made years ago. It has a lot of storage for bits and accessories. I will be adding a router lift and a quick release fence system. My new top is laminated MDF with PVC edge banding. The first thing I need to do is move the power from the inside to the outside of the cabinet. I will be adding a dust port where the plug is now. This is a switchable outlet. I can plug my shop vac into this. Using Baltic birch plywood, my router carriage will be sliding on a tapered track. To minimize the friction, I slightly change one of the angles. For the router harness, I'm making a cove on the table saw. Out of all the router lift designs I see today, only one stands out from the crowd. This is the quick action lever design from Jay Bates. In my opinion, a router lift should use no tools to adjust. No ratchets or wrenches. I don't want to spin a crank 50 times just to change the bit. This design is simple and quick. However, for my cabinet, I will adapt the principle of the idea to work for me. The plywood is already pre-finished. A good coat of paste wax makes it slide freely. Now for the locking knob. I recess a 1/2-inch nut into the plywood, then cut it out on the scroll saw. The lift arm is made from solid maple. Because of the limited space inside the cabinet, the lift assembly will be installed on an angle. This allows room to lock it in place. Now for the fence, I'm trying something new. I want it to stay parallel when I move it, so I'm using a table saw style track. For the fence, I'm using 1/2-inch Baltic birch, glued up in layers to keep it straight and strong. This will be the dovetail for the sliding split fence. I'm using Baltic birch plywood over hardwood to minimize any wood movement from humidity. Some double-sided tape will help me position the dovetail tongue. fence, I'm recessing some nylon glides to reduce any friction when the fence is moved. The glides are sanded so they are just above the surface. The threaded inserts in the back of the fence are for the thumb screws to lock the split fence in place. This data will be for the track for the miter gauge. Even with 2 clamps, the fence has too much deflection, so I will move one clamp to the other end. Now to add a simple dust port in the back of the fence. Eventually I will install a dust port inside the cabinet. The one at the fence only works when the fence is close to the cutter. I believe in using what I have. By cutting this old vacuum nozzle and adding some wood inserts, this allows me to screw it to the fence. For the throat plates, I'm using 1/2-inch clear plexi. I will make several with different size holes. I'm using the leveling blocks by Craig to hold the throat plates flush. Overall, I'm quite happy with the router lift system. However, not so much for the fence. I will probably try and redesign it in the future. Thanks for watching.